Hey everybody, Renee here with Augie, and we are working on the abstract beauty, and it is, I believe, the last one for March, and so we've done three. Um, Check out the other videos on YouTube. I will set up a link there. The past two Mondays, they were all on the abstract beauty and fun fold cards. So how to go ahead and use these pre-cut cards and make some great fun fold cards. All right. So as you know, I go live on Mondays. So I am going to go ahead and switch the table around. So I believe I am on. Hello. I thought I was not going to get on until 6 p.m., but it is 2 p.m. So I lucked out. I am able to go ahead and show this last abstract beauty card set right here. And this is where we are. All right. And you can see the back side of my tabletop here. And I hope everything is okay. I'm just going to check that we are live and that everything's going well. If we can go ahead and do that. I'm sure we are, but it's always good to check in and just make sure I got the tabletop set and you're seeing the cards here and how they work. So I think you're good. All right. All right, we're good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is last Monday, I showed you this card. I am an hour early. I thought I would be 6 p.m., but I got to sneak in an hour early. We've got a busy day today. And so these cards were made last week. So check last week. I'll go ahead and the YouTube, I'll put it in the descriptions. And here, I'll just put it in the comments, the last two links for the last two types of cards that I have shown you and that we have made. Now, today, we are going to make two styles of cards. All right. And this is the one style where we use the cardstock of the abstract beauty. All right, we're going to do that. Okay. And then this is you can use any pre-cut card to do this. And basically, I'll explain how that works when I demonstrate. So in making this card, I was thinking about, well, could I use another card from the Abstract Beauty Suite to make this card? And I can, and I'm going to show you what I did. All right. So we're going to make a style card like this. All right, in the Abstract Beauty. So two little fancy folds, two very easy fancy folds that can be made with any pre-cut cardstock. On this one, your back, the backing of your front of your card should be very similar. It can't be a different type of backing where it changes. That'll make it, that won't work. All right, so let's go ahead. And so the first card I was going to make for you is right here, is this one right here. And we'll keep that right up here so you can kind of see it. I'm going to do it like this so that you can see it during the time period. So I took one of the cards from the suite that is a 6x4, and I went ahead and cut off 1.5 inches from there. Okay, so all I do is I cut off 1.5 inches, all right, from the front of that piece of card. Then what I did is I took another card from there because I do need a piece of white cardstock, and I cut 1 3/4 of an inch off. All right, so that on this one, I have on that second card, I have 1 1/4 inches left. Okay, so I think I cut don't think that's quite the measurement that's cut off, but basically, yeah. So basically what I'm going to do for this, to do the second card, let me clarify that. So what happens is I need for this card right here, I need 1.5 inches. I'm going to re-explain that so it makes sense. All right, 1.5 inches. And then what I go ahead and do is I have to attach this piece. I have to attach now this piece, and I need 1.75 inches. All right. So to make this card, all right, I need a border, just a white plain border that is 1 inch, 1.25 inches wide. So this is 1.25 inches wide. So what I do is I took another one of the cards and I left 1.25 inches. And so I cut 2 3/4 of an inch off. I cut 2 3/4, and that'll make my second card. That'll be the basics for my second card. What I did then is, out of that 2 3/4, all I need is a 1 3/4 piece. So I cut the rest off, so to make it 1 3/4. Then what I'm going to do with that, all right, so I have those pieces to make this card. Then what I'm going to need is some of the designer paper. I'll put that like that. Then I need some of the designer paper for this card. And the designer paper I chose for this card is this one, the 6x4. And that's going to go on the inside. And then I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to cut a piece of white cardstock. All right. You don't have to. This could be, this doesn't have, this can stay this way. I just do the extra. And then this is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So that is going to go on top of there, and that is going to be the inside. Now, again, you don't have to cut that at all, and you can leave it just all white. All right. So next, what I need is then I'm going to need 2 strips for the front, just like here. And so what I need to do is I'm going to cut it, all right, so that I have a strip for this section and a strip for this section, okay? And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you that. Put that in a safe spot. I think I'm going to put that there. And so, as you see, this piece. Put that there. So what's going to happen, I'm going to take my board, all right, and as I said before, this piece is 1.5 inches wide. That's what I cut off. So I want a strip that is 1, so it's 1.5. So all I need is a strip that is 1 1/4. And put it up against here, 1 1/4. All right, I'm gonna cut that. And then since that's 6, all I need is 5 3/4. 5 3/4. Right there. And I can cut that. And now this will go on top of here. And I'm done with that. Then this piece needs to be, as we know, 5 3/4, because it's going to be a quarter shorter, the length, right? And then this piece then to be, it's going to need to be a quarter less, or this is 2.5. So I need this to be 2 1/4 wide. And so I'm going to go 2 1/4 wide from this. Remember, this is 2 1/4. Yeah, so I need this piece to be 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. So it's going to be 2 1/4. All right. So those are my two pieces. Both of them are going to be by 5 3/4. And then they're going to fit perfectly on my card. So that'll fit perfectly there. That'll fit perfectly there. And we can glue these on. All right. So I will go ahead and do that. I'm using new glue. So and so this is a pretty easy card. And all you want to do is make sure you got it kind of even here. There you go. There's that one. I'm going to put that right on here. I'm going to glue this on. And I'm not really too concerned that it matches up per se because of the way this works. I can see if there's a better way. Yeah, that might be better. I don't think that it really matters. You can be more specific if you like. Because of this design, it makes it easier to not worry about, does it match up exactly? But of course, if you have a design that matches up, you want to keep track so that it matches up exactly. Okay, because you can see this comes from here and that, but I didn't care if it matched up or not. Do you see that? Probably these two pieces were there together. All right. But it did not matter to me. All right, because of the way that the design is. All right, so now how do we do this next section? So this 1 3/4, and so you are going to go ahead and score a 1/4 inch down. Then you are going to place this piece completely on top of that piece that fits exactly. All right, so this is 1.5 inches by 6 inches. Okay, that blue piece. And that's what you want. And that's what I cut off exactly from here is 1.5 inches. Then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that it butts up completely and well to that piece, to that back piece. Now this piece then is going to get glued right here. Okay, and to do that, I am going to use my bone folder because I would like this flat. And this is where some people might use their tape, their tear and tape. This is a good spot for tear and tape. I just like glue. Not that I like that much glue. So I'm going to spread that out. This is a new tube, so it's a little hefty on the glue. Glad that I have a new tube because it was getting pretty bad. But there you go. And so I'm just going to use my finger. All right. So now what you're going to do is you just want to butt this up right up to here. Okay. So you just want to make sure that you butt that up right there and then hold down. But it really needs to be butted up. So I'm going to really, it was walking away. I really want to make sure it butts up. So I want, because I want the back to be nice. So it really has to butt up and I don't want it too far. So you really got to take some time to do that. A little bit. There you go. There you go. That looks good. That looks perfect. That looks perfect. And then you're going to go like that. And then why I have this piece, actually, you do need this piece because you want to hide that. Now you could use just a strip. So you could just use a strip and of designer paper and just take a strip and put it along if you wanted to on both edges and do it that way. But you do have this now on the inside. And so what I do is, since I love the designer paper, I'm just going to go ahead and I do use the other side here on this one. When I like to make, when I make my cards, I like to, on that one card, use both sides of the paper because they are complementary. So the nice thing about this, on this one, definitely want that glued down there, see? And now you would never know. See how nice that is? Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Such an easy, nice, fancy fold. Now with this fancy fold, as you saw on this one, I used even designer paper here, and I used some extra designer paper there that I had extra of. This time I did not do that. And I'm just going to put this piece of white cardstock in here, and then I'm pretty much done with that. Okay, so that inside would be done with this. I can decorate this. I can say Happy Easter and then glue it down. All right, so that is all I'm going to do with this inside. Okay, unlike the other one, which got pretty fancy and cut up some more paper and stuff like that. I did not do that with this one. And I'm just going to use that bone folder just to make sure that's nice and tight, because I want that seam to be nice and tight. All right, and there you go. Looks perfect on the back. There it is. All right, the last part of this card is very, very easy. What I do is I use the octagons from the die set of this suite, and is that what I did? Did I use the right one? A little on the confused side, because did I use the right one? I guess I did. It has a little more color. It has the blue. Okay, so it has the blue, the green, and it has the yellows. So I'm going to be careful of how I, and the gold. So I guess that's what I wanted. I could have used a different one. I can see that, but no, this is fine because it has the blue, it has the pink, and it has the green in there. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, and so all I'm going to do, which is very, very easy, is I cut this out with the die cut. And I cut this out with the die cut. And what I did is I used some other DSP that I had extra from that packet. Then what I did is I took this right here, and with the Delicata Gold, which they used to carry, and I went ahead and stamped that there, and then the Hello Beautiful from the stamp set in that soft succulent. I went ahead and stamped that. That's all I did. And it's just very delicate. It's nothing really, you know, you can see it a little bit. It's not too fancy or anything, but everything else is pretty colorful. So I felt we were okay with that. And so all you're going to do is you're going to glue this piece on here. And I'm just going to make sure I get what I want again. So how I glue it is important to me. So I'm going to glue it that way. And I'm going to glue it that way and that way. Yep, that's fine. And that's going to go over. So it's just about on the halfway. So I'm just going to do this. I'm a little low today. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to go on this half, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. put some glue there. Then I'm going to go ahead and put it right about here, just like that. That's all I'm going to do. Then I'm going to use my dimensionals. And you see, I tried my other color and it was too dark. My Blushing Bride is a little dark. I know that some of them are, so you have to stamp off with the Blushing Bride to get that lighter pink. But this is going to go on completely, as you see here. And all I'm going to do is just put it right in the center. Quick, easy, great, beautiful little card. All right. And there you go. All right. And as you saw before, here we're just going to go ahead and put that in the inside. It's a very simple, you even get some little color here, which I like, a little yellow tab. All right. And obviously we could have used the same color, but I didn't want to. And so I felt that this worked quite well, just like that one. Now that one was the exact same. So, but I'm quite content with this. And I think the little yellow tab adds a little flavor. All right, so there's that card. That's all it took. All right, there you go. Very simple, very fun card. That's number one. Again, now to make this card, I had to cut a piece of white cardstock at 1 3/4 and score it at 1/4. So what I did then is I went ahead and took this card and flipped it inside out. This was the card, just flipped it inside out, put that in my center. Now these pieces are going to be quite a bit of fun. So now what I did is to make this card, which is right here, to make this card, you need simply to have that, I just want to make sure. So again, you are going to need to have just 1 1/4 inches. So you cut off all the rest from the 1 1/4 inches. Okay. And this piece then, if you look at this card, you will see that you need a piece like this. Okay, so a DSP piece, and it's going to be cut 1/4 of an inch shorter than the card. Since our card is 4, this piece was cut at 4 3/4 inches, and it's going to go in this way. Okay. So it's going to go in this way, just like that. All right, and we're going to glue that down. So that's the first piece you need. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down because that'll be that then. And just make sure it's butted up, butted up. Make sure everything's butted up. That's the beginning. And now you need a strip, and that strip is basically pretty much any really width you want. For this one, it literally was 1/2 inch. Mine is longer because I wanted to put in these leaves, and the 1/2 inch length by 6. So you always wanted the card length. All right, so if your card length is 5 1/2, you'll want it 5 1/2, just like this was at 4 by 5 1/2 on a standard card. Since this is a 6 by 4, this is going to be a 3 3/4 by 6. And this is then going to be, can be a 1/2, all right, by a 1/2 by, what do I want to say? A 1/2 by 6, all right? And so all I do is I'm going to glue that piece. You see here that I used some elements from our suite. They do have these golded leaves and hearts. Again, in my first video, you can see the entire suite. So check out my first video on the abstract beauty, and you'll see these. And I decided to use these. Again, with vellum, I use the tear and tape on the back, and that is my best friend, is the tear and tape. So now all I'm going to do, and so when I went ahead, I did cut off. So I actually did cut off 2 3/4 total when I cut this off, the front off, to use for my other piece, right? And for my other card. So, and then measured. And then what I did here is, this is anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch is what I would say. You don't want it really too long. And this again, which it beautifully does, it just butts up, okay? Which is really pretty. So we're already doing well. You see here how fun this card is already going to be. Very simple. Next, now what I decided is to use the 2x2 square frame from the suite, and I actually cut out a 2x2, actually it's 2.5 by 2.5, sorry, it's a 2.5 by 2.5. And so I cut out a piece of white cardstock that's 2.5 by 2.5. Now I basically decided on this one to do it a little differently than what I have here. I wanted to decorate it a little bit more. I thought it could be decorated a little bit more. It's going to fit like that. You can have any on this one, as you see here. Once you cut this piece off, you actually have this length and you can use it right here as part of your card. But what I used here is an extra piece of white paper. What I could have done is cut some more of my designer paper and put this on the background, okay? I could have done that. I can just cut out a piece of white cardstock that's 2.5 by 2.5 and glue it like I did, and then have Happy Easter. But what I then did after that is I decided, no, I don't want to do that. I would like it a little more colorful because that's the way I am. And so then I cut a piece here that is a square that is 1 3/4. So this is a 1 3/4 square that I'm going to go ahead and glue that on right here. And I'm going to do that right in the center, right here, like that. That looks good. And then I cut another little square that is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And then I put my little Happy Easter there. I like that better. I like to decorate. I know I'm a little bit more of a decorator than the simple, but that's because if you have the suite, why not enjoy it? You have plenty to make, plenty of cards. Enjoy your paper, enjoy making your cards. I mean, it is great saving paper. I'm going to center this, as you can imagine. I did use dimensionals on this, and I'm going to center it just like that. Good, like that. Center that, and then all I'm going to do is glue this down on this half. That's all I'm going to do. Now, this would be the card, right? Which is very nice, very beautiful. But then I decided, well, why don't I cut a strip, since that's the backing, why don't I cut a strip and then have it be like this? It's an Easter card. It should be springy and bright. And I thought, oh, how cute. And then I thought, well, you know, they haven't seen me do much stamping with this great stamp set. And so I decided that I would stamp. And so what I stamped is, I hope I have my stamp still here. I might not. I might not, I can't see quite the block. That's okay. It probably fell. But what I decided to do is I used this one. Or maybe I put them all back. And that's why. So let's look at what I did here. I used the stamp set. I used this one right here. I used the little dot. I used the little 3, which came in afterwards. And then I used that dot. Oh, yes. And then this bigger kind of amorphous flower. And I actually put them all, which I typically do, I put them all on one block. And I just want to show you that because I thought, well, you know, we could have just stamped, you don't have to cut out a piece. You can just stamp this directly on there and then have that. Isn't that lovely? All right. So since my stamping sometimes has a lot to be desired and I have to work at it, I decided I would pre-stamp, but I will show you how this works because I think it's well worth it and people don't realize. Again, when stamping a background, all right, one worries quite a bit of how that's going to look. But what I do is I took all 3, okay? And let's use, I'm going to use first the pink, and I'm going to have to stamp off because this pink is a little brown, and you'll see that. I'm just going to stamp off on some scrap here. I'm going to find some scrap that I can, well, I'll just stamp off right here. You'll see how brown that is. See, that's pretty brown. And then all I do is I just go like this. All right, that's all you got to do. So then I did that. I went, okay, I want one more spot. And so I go here and I went here. All right. And I wanted one more spot. So I wanted, let's say here, but I don't have to do everything, right? So then after that, after you do that, you can take your other color. Let's say we are going to take our soft succulent or our blue. Let's go with our blue. Since it's darker and I've already stamped off, I'm not going to worry too much about this. And I'm going to take my little balmy blue. I put that on there. And again, I'm going to stamp. And I really do want, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my board here so that, and then I can stamp like that. And I can stamp like that. So you see here, you can go ahead and stamp. You don't have to worry about stamping perfectly. I don't want to mess up my other side since that's the side I really like. All right. So then what you do is you say, okay, now I want to do soft succulent. I am going to wipe this down because it was a little darker. And now I'm going to do my soft succulent. And again, here, I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And there's my soft succulent. I inked that up. And then I'm going to go here. I don't want to mess up that other side. And I'm going to go here at that bottom. And then I might go, just look at here, just like that with the rest of it. So it's nothing that you have to then worry about. This is still looking very good. All right. And then what I did is I took my 3 little dots and I decided that I would use the Night of Navy for my 3 little dots that are part of this thing. And now I can put them in pretty much anywhere that I feel like it. and I can put them in darker. I can stamp off if I need to. I can put them anywhere I like that, like that. And that's all you need to do. And then you get your pattern. All right. And so since I try to hurry when I do it online, it is easier if I show you and then use the other side. So I had an option of just directly stamping on my card. Definitely you have that option to stamp on your card and not worry about it and not use extra paper. Or you can go ahead and use the extra paper and then glue this down. Or you can use the designer paper that is provided as you saw. And again, this piece, I went ahead and made it by 5 3/4 and 1/4. Oh, no, I made it as long, 6, but took off a 1/4 inch on the sides, but left it just as long. All right. I tend to like this one. I think it's very soft and pretty, and I do like it. So I think I will go ahead, and you can see those colors and that matching and everything. I will go ahead and glue that on like that. Right? I just want to, sometimes my edges are a little rough, and if they are, this works real well. This really won't bulk up your card too much at all. And there's that side, as you see. So you see it's really pretty easy to go ahead and stamp with that stamp set and have fun with it. So this is going to be perfectly fitted, is what I decided to do. So it's perfectly fitted. I can see here that I need to come down. I think I'll be all right. Yeah, I think I'll be all right. All right. And so now all I do is I just stick that other half on there. Now you can bounce it up if you like with your dimensionals. That is definitely a good thing. I'm going to bounce this up with my dimensionals. Just putting them on that half. Not going. I can go there. Oh, what was I thinking? You can go the whole thing. I was thinking this was the inside. So you can go the whole thing. Probably put way too many on, but that's okay. There you go. There you go. But I'll make it nice and sturdy. There you go. Yeah, all of them are there. Then right here, easy to make even. Very fun. There's your Easter card. Is that cute or what? All right. Is that cute or what? All right. Those are my 2 cards. I hope you enjoyed those 2 fancy folds. They are fairly easy and fun to make. And as you see, you can see what paper I used to make that. As you see, you could have stamped on a piece of white cardstock and then gone ahead and cut out the octagon using the hexagon. It is hex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a hexagon. Hexagon. Yeah, cut out the hexagon, and after you stamped it, and put it on there. And you could have used the colors, the specific colors of the pink and just the gold and the soft succulent. But I like a little interest, a little fun, a little pop there with a little bit darker pink in there. So we are all set to go. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will say goodbye to my live. And if you enjoyed, please don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to go ahead and do this. If you would, please, love, give me a heart. They help me out with the algorithms. The likes don't work, so I'll say that again. Do the hearts. I appreciate it. Enjoy, and I'll see you next Monday. All right, folks. Talk to you later. And those people who are, excuse me, I dropped something. Those people who are on YouTube, please don't forget to like or subscribe to my site. I try to post a live every Monday, so something a little different, and hope you enjoy it. And see you next week. All right. Bye-bye now.